everybody, so my name is LaPrecious and welcome to my channel. Let's talk with LaPrecious. Hey Queen Famous. So today I'm going to be doing messages from the goddess Oshun. To those of you who don't know who Oshun is an Orisha in the Lukumi tradition, also known as Santeria. And I will be doing messages from her today on love, prosperity, and life in general. So now I'm going to be pulling some cards from my deck to see what the general messages are that she has for you all today. Spirit of the Orisha Oshun, please let everyone know who is watching this live what messages you have for them when it comes to love, prosperity, and just basic life skills in general. So the messages that she has for a lot of you all is that you guys need to stand firm and stand strong on what you believe. Even though some of you may be feeling lonely, even though some of you may be feeling distraught, and even though some of you may be feeling as though you don't have a good support system, you don't have a lot of people backing you, or that you don't have a lot of people with you, Oshun is saying to stop thinking about that. It's okay to not have a support system. It's okay to not have anybody to fall back on. And it's okay to not have everybody with you. When you start going after your dreams and after your goals for your life on your own, it gives you more vigor. It gives you more tenacity. It gives you more confidence, but it also gives you more pride because you're able to say, I got this on my own. This wasn't a handout. This wasn't something that somebody gave me out of pity. This is something that I worked for. So she's saying that a lot of you guys really need to stand tall and stand firm on what it is that you want to do. Oshun is also saying to understand the world that you live in. Understand that you have choices. She's saying that you have choices in what you choose to do when it comes to love, when it comes to life, when it comes to finances, when it comes to success, when it comes to a lot of different things. Like you all have choices. You don't have to settle for less. You don't have to settle for what somebody is giving you even if it's not the best. You do not have to settle for less. You don't have to settle for what you don't want. You don't have to settle for what you don't like. You can have what it is that you want. I'm going to let you guys in on a pataki, or what we call in the Lukumi tradition a sacred story about Oshun. So to those of you who don't know anything about the Orishas or anything about Oshun, Oshun is one of the Orishas that is a part of the seven African powers. You guys have probably seen her in the big makeup or in the big image of like the Orishas that you see on the candles and the baths and on posters. She's known as one of the most powerful Orishas to call upon in the Santeria or in the Lukumi tradition. Now, Oshun's powers within the seven African powers, or even within herself as an Orisha, is that she is the Orisha of love. She's the Orisha of money. She's the Orisha of happiness. She's the Orisha of success. She's the Orisha of prosperity. But one thing that a lot of people don't know about Oshun is that she's also the Orisha of healing when it comes to mental illness. And she's also the Orisha of healing digestive issues. And I'm sure a lot of you probably don't know that, but Oshun can help aid in easing digestive issues and mental health disabilities. So Oshun is more than just this fun-loving woman that loves to dance and parade herself and be happy and whatnot. She has a lot of healing capabilities as well. But one thing about Oshun is she could be very vigorous, especially when she's angry or upset. It's also known that when she starts laughing, when she laughs is not a good thing. When she laughs, that means she's about to cause some destruction. So you don't want to make Oshun laugh, because if she's laughing, then that means she's going to cause some dysfunction or confusion in your path. Another thing I would tell you about Oshun, Oshun knows the power of moving on. Just came about. I'm gonna indicate. I hate how my thing just fell. I tried to have this, good image for y'all so I can upgrade my YouTube channel. It's not working out like that. Okay, so when it comes to Oshun, Oshun is considered to be the daughter of Yemaya. Yemaya is known as the Orisha, or the mother of the waters, the mother of the ocean. And she's also the wife of Olokun. Olokun is the Orisha that's of the deepest part of the ocean. Now, Yemaya is more so the Orisha that's of like the top surface level of the ocean, and Olokun is more so of the deepest depths of the ocean. Now, with Olokun and Yamaya, they both represent the wealth of the ocean. So you can go to Olokun and you can go to Yamaya for wealth and prosperity. But the thing about Oshun is she knows what it's like to be rejected, and she also knows what it's like to, not be able to be with somebody that you really want to be with, which is what I mentioned earlier about it being okay if you don't have anybody backing you in your decisions, backing you in your needs, or backing you in your wants. Because Oshun experienced this with Shango. Now, you guys know that Shango is known as the warrior. He's also known as a dancer, and he's also known as an African king, and he's a part of the seven African powers as well. You can go to Shango when you need help with money. Shango is more so of a masculine energy. The only times I really go to Shango is if I'm working for a male client and they need help with luck, prosperity, money, or maybe a job. Because that's usually how Shango tends to work with me. Now, Shango, he's also a strong warrior. Shango is a divine masculine. Shango is very strong and tenacious, but sometimes he could be a bit immature when it comes to his ruling reign. But Shango is also known as Yemaya's favorite son because Yemaya is also the mother of Shango. Now, to some of you who may not know about the sacred twins known as Ibeyi, some people call them Ibeji and some people call them Ibeyi. Now, Ibeyi, they're known as the sacred twins. The sacred twins came from the union of Shango and Oshun. So, Ibeji was born from Shango and Oshun. Now, the way that Ibejis came about was that one day, Oshun was saying that she was gonna win over Shango because the thing is that Shango was married to three Orishas. The Orishas that he was married to was Omanani, Oshun, and Oya. Oya is known as the Orisha of Thunder or Infinite Change. Obanani was pretty much the Orisha of wealth, domesticity, being a wife, and being like a good, home giver and whatnot. Now, Oshun, we all know her as the pretty, carefree, fun loving young woman who loves to flirt and dance and just pretty much be happy. So, what ended up happening was that Obanani was pretty much the first wife of Shango. Obanani was feeling a bit insecure about, how to get Shango to be more interested in her, how to get Shango to love her and like her more. So she thought about asking Oya, who was one of Shango's favorite wives besides Oshun, what can I do to win him over? What can I do to keep him home? What can I do to keep him, interested in me? So Oya decided to deceive Obanani by telling her to cut her ear off and to serve it in a plate of soup or in a plate of Shango's favorite food for dinner. And by him seeing the ear, he'll see that she sacrificed herself to win over his love. Big mistake. Because when Obanani did this and Shango saw her ear show up in his food, he was so highly disgusted with her, he pretty much banished her from the house. Obanani, she ran and was crying and crying and crying. And she was so heartbroken by Shango that she never wanted to be in love with another man again. She eventually she ran to her father, and I can't remember who her father's name is. He's also a powerful Orisha as well. When she spoke about this to her father, she pretty much said that I don't want anybody seeing me. I don't want anybody knowing who I am. I just want to go into the cemetery and just be there forever. So he pretty much chose for Obanani to go to the cemetery and remain there to work. Now, even though Oya had betrayed her, Oshun was still pretty close to Obanani. So Oshun will often visit Obanani and see how she was doing and whatnot. Now I will remind you that Obanani was a bit naive because she would always try to get the attention and whatnot from Oya. And Oshun would be like, okay, you know this girl, she really don't like you like that, so I don't know why you're trying to be all up in her face. But Obanani was like, yeah, but I kind of still want to be her friend to kind of know what she's, doing to make Shango stay with her so that Shango can be with me. So, what Oshun decided to do one day was that she was going to try to win. She was going to try to win Shango back as a way of trying to get back at Oya. But it didn't work out like that. So the Pataki is saying that Oshun one day was laying. She was pretty much like laying on the beach or like laying in like the forest or in the trees in the land of the Orishas, and she saw Shango and she stripped her clothes off and put honey and stuff all over her to entice Shango. Now Shango is a very like thirsty man when it comes to women. Like Shango is known for being a ladies' man. So when he saw Oshun, he was like, I just gotta have her. And he took her. And then after they made love and whatnot, Oshun kind of noticed how her body was feeling different and she realized she was pregnant. She carried the babies to full term and she ended up telling Shango, well, I really enjoyed, what we had and what was going on because what happened was that Oya, she wanted Shango for herself. But Shango pretty much, he's a man. He wants to be whoever he wants to be with and everything. And so what ended up happening was that Oya had heard about the twins, and Oya was so jealous and so catastrophic, Shango became scared of what would happen to the twins. So what happened was that when Oshun pretty much gave birth to the Ibeyi or the sacred twins, he pretty much picked up the twins and took them to Yamaya, who's pretty much the mother of all the Orishas, and put them in her care so that Oya wouldn't try to do something to the twins to get back at Shango and Oshun. And Oya, when she heard of this, she trapped Shango in the kingdom. And she used like the Egungun or the Egun, which are known as the ancestors or spirits of the dead, to trap Shango in the temple. Now, Oshun, she ended up coming up with some creative ways of getting him out there, and she eventually rescued him. And what ended up happening was that Oshun was like, we made passionate love. We have the sacred twins. I saved you. So I really want to be with you because I really love you and I like you and I really want you to be with me. And Shango was like, I understand how you feel, but my heart is with Oya. And even though we had what we had, that's all it was. And so in that moment, Oshun was rejected. And I don't think a lot of people understand that about the Orishas, that the Orishas, they're not just these powerful beings that just come up out the ground or come up out of the sky. Like these were real people that had everyday life scenarios like we do in real life. And when Oshun realizes and understands this, she ran through the wilderness and just cried and cried and cried. And she eventually moved on and she eventually, married other Orishas, just like all the other Orishas, because most of the Orishas, they pretty much married or mated with each other. So that's not uncommon. But to sum it all up, in that scenario, Oshun knows what it's like to be rejected. She knows what it's like to have someone not like you when you've pretty much given them your all. So Oshun can really relate to a lot of women when it comes to that. The other message that Oshun pretty much has for you all is to manifest your destiny. Call in the spirits that can really guide you and help you be on the right track, be in the right place, and just be in the right mood. Because Oshun in this moment is really saying that it's time for a lot of you all to get out of this rut. It's time for a lot of you all to stop being so pessimistic about your situations and your relationships and just things that you're unhappy with. She's saying that it's time for you all to turn a new leaf and to pretty much look at things from the brighter side or from a brighter perspective. Because Oshun within herself is bright. Her colors are gold and yellow, her flowers are the sunflowers. She's pretty much the array of sunshine. She's the one that's, happy, go lucky, likes to dance, likes to flirt. She's pretty much like every female's inner child, like that inner little girl or like that sweet innocence that a lot of us used to have. So Oshun is pretty much saying, go inside and call on that little girl that that used to dream, that used to imagine, that used to want to be a pirate, that used to want to be a ballerina, that used to want to be an astronaut, whatever it is that you want it to be. She wants you to go back into that and pick up that little girl and relive her and bring out those imaginations and those dreams and those goals. Let's see what else Oshun has for everybody today. She's pretty much saying that a lot of you just need to go for your dreams, but she's also saying that a lot of you need to start controlling your emotions. Some of you can be really erratic, some of you can be really fiery, and some of you can be very bitter and jaded. Because, as I mentioned before, even though Oshun does represent this woman of love and sensuality and attractiveness and prosperity, she has feelings too. Because it's a known fact that when she's sad, she deeply cries, she's mopey, she's weepy, like she's very like heartbroken. And she's understanding that a lot of you may be heartbroken from disappointments with boyfriends, disappointment with lovers, disappointment with family members and whatnot. But she's saying that it's time for y'all to get it together. Like it's really time for y'all to just really hone in on what's important. Yes, they hurt you. Yes, they disappointed you. Yes, they rejected you, but it's time to move on and to move on to the next best things that are awaiting you. She's also saying that it's time for you all to go for it. So Oshun's infinite message right now is for you all to really be after your goals, after your dreams, and after your prosperity. Go after the bag. Like, go after the money, go after the prosperity, the finances. All of those things are awaiting you. And it's kind of funny that the Son of Pentacles popped up after that, too. So, you guys see the vineyards in the back of like the harvest that was planted and how it's grown into like thick, luscious vines, and how he's holding this big, giant coin, and how he has this cape on, of how he's been flying and trying and, just pretty much working his butt off as he's going along. And look at all the work that he's done and how it's paid off with this big coin. So it's like a lot of you all need to get your head out of the clouds and out of your emotions and your feelings and just go out there and go after what's important. Because if you keep being locked in and stuck in your emotions and in your feelings, you're never going to move to the next step. You're never going to evolve to the next level, and you're never going to be what it is that you really want to be, which is something that can be truly fulfilling and fruitful, which is what Oshun represents. Because yes, Oshun does heal from heartache, and yes, Oshun does heal from disappointments, but she brings prosperity and light as well. So I hope you all like this message. I'm sorry about my calamity of my curtain falling and my lighting and everything. So, but besides that, I know I'm not perfect, but I really wanted you guys to have a perfect, introduction of my new, outlook on my YouTube channel, but it didn't work out like that. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, leave a comment in the comment section, and have a good day.